It's about 6:30 p.m. West Coast time on Sunday, May 4th. Bunch of people have tagged me in some videos about something that Donald Trump posted to Truth Social earlier this afternoon. Let's read through it together. Rebuild and open Alcatraz. For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders. Donald Trump! Did I mention this was posted by a convicted felon? The dregs of society who will never contribute anything other than misery and suffering. When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them far away from anyone they could harm, after they were proven in court to be violent, dangerous criminals. Yeah, that's called due process. That's the way it's supposed to be. No longer will we tolerate these serial offenders who spread filth, bloodshed, and mayhem in our streets. That is why today I am directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security, to reopen and substantially enlarge and rebuild Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. We will no longer be held hostage to criminals, thugs, and judges that are afraid to do their job and allow us to remove criminals who came into our country illegally. We're going to circle back to that in a second. The reopening of Alcatraz will serve as a symbol of law and order and justice. We will make America great again. Of all of the people that Donald Trump has deported in his second term, he has not proven in a court of law that any of them is vicious. The government has not proven that any of them are violent. The government has not proven that any of them are repeat criminal offenders or the dregs of society. The government has not proven that anyone who has been deported is the most dangerous criminals. The government has not proven that any of them are serial offenders who spread filth, bloodshed, and mayhem on our streets. The government has not proven any of that because the government is not giving these people due process. If the government could prove any of those things, one would presume that they would be willing to have a hearing, not a trial. Donald Trump says the courts want us to have 11 million trials. Even the Supreme Court said in a 9-0 decision that people who were deported under the Alien Enemies Act are entitled to due process, meaning a hearing. A hearing can last 30 minutes. It can last a day. It is not the same thing as a trial. Hearings do not involve juries. The Trump administration are the stupidest people I've ever met, ever encountered in my entire life. And the attorneys who are working for the Trump administration know that all of this is bullshit and it's illegal and it's unconstitutional. And I think you're going to start seeing some bar complaints against some of these attorneys because they're breaking the law. At a minimum, they are violating the oath that they took when they were sworn in as attorneys. This is all bullshit. Second point, Alcatraz is a federal park. It's a museum and a tourist attraction. It is not functioning as a detention center. They're going to start trucking food out there every day. They're going to have to put billions of dollars into Alcatraz to get it functioning as some type of detention facility. Anyone who's ever been on a tour of Alcatraz know that it's not in any condition to house human beings at all. There's no functioning kitchen. They don't have dishes and silverware. There are no refrigerators. There are no functioning stoves or ovens. It's a tourist attraction, a federal park, and a museum. Greatly expand Alcatraz. He's aware that it's on an island, right? You can't just add to it. It's on an island. They're the stupidest people that this country has ever been saddled with. And their minds are completely broken. Completely broken. I don't, the logistics of this. Well, first let me add this part though. I'm surprised it took him this long to suggest using Alcatraz as a detention center for immigrants. It's in San Francisco Bay. And I'm pretty sure that San Francisco is the city that Donald Trump and his supporters hate more than any other city in the United States. San Francisco, except for maybe Chicago, because, you know, according to them, that's where all the black on black crime is, in Chicago. They hate San Francisco because it's where the homosexuals live. That's right. That's where all the trans people are, in San Francisco. And San Francisco is a city full of immigrants. And San Francisco is and has been a sanctuary city for immigrants. With its liberal government run totally by Democrats. Spoiler alert, there are plenty of Republicans in San Francisco city government. They just slap that Democrat label on there and run for office anyway, because you can't get elected in San Francisco running as anything other than a Democrat. It's just where on the spectrum of Democrat you fall. That's neither here nor there. But turning Alcatraz into a detention center for immigrants as part of his mass immigration purge in the San Francisco Bay is epic level trolling, if it was even remotely possible, which it's not. But, you know, I'm sure that there are anti-Kamala leftists all throughout San Francisco tonight who are absolutely losing their mud entirely over this Truth Social post. They're getting ready to protest. Oh my God, man. That is never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It would cost billions of dollars. Never gonna happen.